I'm very interested when you talk about we and they. We're roughly the same age. I was 12 when Madiba was released from prison, and I was 14 when the election happened. I'm a medical doctor. I work sometimes 160-hour weeks. I work sometimes 18 hours a day, and I own property because of that reason. And it sounds to me that you're suggesting that I should do all that work and come to this point in my life and now just hand away my property. And that concerns me.
You know, you are an exceptional case. If you are to stand up and say, I went to school and I'm a medical doctor and the property I have is because I went to school and I bought it. But most of your people didn't buy any property, they inherited it. So it's an exceptional case. No, you can disagree, but the reality is that you are in possession of a land that was stolen from us. And we want it back without any apology. We want that land back, and we are going to work together. I can tell you now, whether you are in denial or not, the demand for the land is growing and people are becoming impatient. And we don't want Zimbabwe here. We don't want Zimbabwe in this country. It has to be done legally, procedurally, in a manner that is not going to put the country and the economy in a disaster. We have to talk about it. We have to say, how do we, in a proper manner, make sure that everyone benefit from this land? So, you know, Mr. Santa will know, and those who were involved in the negotiations and pre-negotiations, that when it was inevitable for democracy to be ushered in, most of the corrupt state officials began to transfer land into the names of individuals. When we're building a road in Northwest, expanding a road in Northwest from Rustenburg to Mafikeng, the state had to now get into some farms so that, because they didn't have land reserves, so they had to go and take some portions of land as they go along. And then made a call. All those who were affected by our expropriation of land, please come forward so that we can compensate you. Very few people turned up. And the suspicion is that they do not have title deeds. People just declared, this is my land, just before 1994. So don't individualize a big problem. It's like when I say there is racism in this country and you come to me, but I'm not a racist. I'm not talking about you. If you're not racist, why are you worried? But generally there is a problem of racism. It's not about an individual. It's a group problem. It is an institutionalized problem. We have to deal with it. And if we don't talk about it, we will not recognize it as a problem. And because we have not recognized it as a problem, now we will not be in a position to solve that problem. You can't solve the problems which you have not identified. So let us not be sensitive. I mean, you are a graduate, you are a doctor, you own a piece of property. I've got a black doctor here with me, very young also, a graduate, and he owns property. We're not taking your property only. We're talking also his property, the flat he owns, a flat size. His flat is almost the size of your bathroom for sure. But even that, we're taking from him. So it's not about a black or white. All of us, we need to surrender our land to the state and give that state an opportunity to allocate it for proper use. You can shake your hand, I'm proposing a peaceful solution. You're refusing it, you will surrender it to the revolution.
Thank
the Cubans achieved what they have achieved without American intervention. The levels of literacy in Cuba happened under the American economic embargo and under the communist-led country. Cuba is highly educated. Actually, it is even producing doctors for capitalist countries like yourselves. You can't produce for doctors for yourselves. The Cubans are helping you. The levels of actually the life expectancy is longer than ours. The Cubans' health system is the best. Their education system is the best. So Cuba is one of the countries that did well under Fidel, because those are the indicators you use to judge success. Not this thing we have here in South Africa, that success means very few families must be rich. The Oppenheimers, the Ruperts, and them. And then, as long as we have such families rich, and the rest of the country is swimming in a pool of poverty, and then you call that success, it can't be success. Success means the general population must be doing well in terms of quality of education, the quality of health, life expectancy. Here in South Africa, people die at an early age, especially black people, from diseases that we can cure. But because the health system is dysfunctional and medicine is expensive, we don't live for far too long. So it's extremely unacceptable that we have a situation we have. So I don't know. I think under this development between the Cubans and the Americans, Cuba will even perform much, much more better. The Chinese you are talking about, no, because they were under sanctions. Now, if the sanctions leave, and other people are free to do business with them without being intimidated by America, then we are guaranteed that people who have done well under difficult conditions, they will do well when conditions are better. You were trading with China, the whole world, they were trading with China even when China was under the communist leadership. China is experiencing problems now, but I'm happy that Mr. Santa points to China as one of the countries which were successful under a communist leadership. So we know all those shortcomings and criticism of Mao Zedong, but those are personality cult types of politics. What is principle for me is that the Communist Party of China made China to be what it is today. And you cannot ignore China in the global economy. So I'm saying here at home, we're not proposing that there must be a complete shutdown of private capital. We want that mixed economy with the state being a leader in the economy. In Botswana here, De Beers, Mr. Santa will know better than me, gave the government of Botswana 51% in the diamond mines. 51%. When they come into South Africa, next door, they are refusing. We don't just want 51%, we want ownership and control, because we can't trust capital. They will say they produce so many diamonds only to find that they're misleading us. They've produced more. So they are happy with Botswana because Botswana is just happy with ownership and not control. We cannot be happy just with ownership. We want control. My sister is speaking about black people who are involved in some of these companies. I always see black people who call themselves executives who calls themselves owners of this and that, and in reality it's not true. I don't know of a single person, a single black person who owns anything with control and influence, not even Patrice. Patrice will never help you with anything. He's so hopeless. He can't help you because he's not in control. They claim to be in control. They are not in. They've surrendered their blackness and they are being remote controlled by white monopoly capital. So we want a genuine black ownership, and you must be in control. That's what we are fighting for. We must not be shown some cosmetic black success. People who have agreed to be curtains. I don't know of a single, maybe I'm still to see that person. When we do the side visits, they bring black sisters and brothers to come and make presentations before parliament committees. And because this parliament now is different, it has got some questioning people. After presentation, we go in and we ask very difficult questions. Black managers and leaders can't answer because they are not in charge. But because they said parliament is coming today, it will be you who present this. And then they say, this is the most senior person in this company. Okay, a simple question. What is the turnover of this company? You see, that one I will give to my colleague. And then I must celebrate that. I'm not going to celebrate that. I want, not even Cyril Ramaphosa is a genuine black success. Cyril Ramaphosa is a puppet of the Oppenheimers. They made him form the NUM after the commissioner said black unions must be allowed and they must have the power to negotiate with the employer. The NUM was sponsored by the Oppenheimers, and Cyril was given that task to go and form it. Cyril was working in the legal office, or some offices, not even underground, from the University of the North. Then from there he was given the power to form NUM. From there he was fronted everywhere. They wanted to impose him on Mandela as the deputy president of South Africa, and the ANC refused. That's how Thabo Mbeki became the deputy president, and Cyril Ramaphosa got demoralized and left the ANC. Cyril Ramaphosa, because of that anger, did not even attend Mandela's inauguration because the agenda he was representing got defeated. I want genuine black, and black is not implementation. It's about your thinking and your commitment to liberate the black nation.
All right, welcome again, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, from wherever you're watching this one from. In this particular domain, this platform here, I go by lead. And then Malema. I've never had enough of Malema, and I don't know what exactly transpired over this recent election that was conducted in South Africa. This is the man that I've always, put all my stakes on, and I thought that, okay, good. Little bit of maybe sounding biased there, forgive me, but that is being honest with the things here. So yeah, he's a strong person as far as his sentiments and his articulations of issues are concerned, especially those particular matters that are affecting Africans in precise, where they are owners but they have got no influence, where they call themselves that we own these and own these and own these, but in real sense they're puppets trying to play orchestrated moves by the Western capitalist. And a good example that he has given, if you've been following all the way up to this very end, is the American capitalist. So something that really agitates Malema feels like something deliberate, something intentional, something serious, even if it means that it's going to hurt many people. Like a good example, we've seen this particular gentleman who calls himself a doctor, and he has amassed wealth from his own efforts. And even that one, Malema tries to say that will be taken. Okay, sorry, but even that will be taken. He gives a comparative example of another black educated doctor but then who also have amassed, wealth and properties. But even that one, comparatively with the white gentleman at the very initial the parts or stages of this particular video, even that one is going also to be taken. So guys, I feel like in as much as that we're talking about unity in South Africa, there are some things that the South Africans need to embrace, and also those who um, that feel like they must have, showed up in the party. Yeah, the party was going on, and they showed up. Hey guys, we are also here. And when they joined uninvitedly, and they were not invited, and they were there, and then trying to claim the piece of this particular rock, something needs to be done. A comprehensive structural program needs to be put in place to make sure that that land in South Africa has been put into good use, has been utilized, and nobody should be claiming that they own large tracts of land that are laying idle without any good use. But above all, I would say that even this one here is the right step. Sitting down and listening to each other, even if it is painful, you're totally disliking, or you're totally in disagreement of what the other party is trying to say, but you can afford to listen to them, given that particular attention. I say that's a very big step. Kudos, South Africans, wherever you are. I just want to salute you. Of course, I had to bring this particular video on board because what it does, I've been following through these particular matters, and I feel like it's high time that Africans wake up and realize their true value, who they are, even if it comes on a weak stance. Most of the African leaders, they do it on a weak stance, like, oh, we don't know how the West is going to react if we say this and this and this one. Something that has really made me like leaders the likes of Malema, who predominantly comes out conspicuously and say their brain and say their mind, whatever that is in their head, irrespective of what other people are going to think out there. We need such kind of leaders who are able to state their case and stick to that. People or leaders whose policies are much stronger than other people's values. People or leaders whose values are more strong than other people's opinion of who they are or how they're supposed to be governing themselves. Guys, I am doing this one at late midnight, and if you watch up to this very end, you're a very important person. How about this? Give me a thumbs up, or a thumbs up that is, and do drop me a comment on the comment section about this particular video. And especially, guys, I've always been targeting the Africans in the diaspora, the diasporians in the house. On this message section, let me see what exactly you're doing there, what you're thinking about the direction that Africa is headed towards, and what direction Africa needs to be embracing, and then follow it through as far as liberation from maybe the colonial master. Even if we have in the colonialism in disguise, because we thought that, okay, or maybe Africans are thinking that they're free. In real sense, they are not free. They do not have full control of their resources. They do not have full control of their lives, of their land, of their many aspects, in fact, just to mention a few. And that, including very many that maybe you'd want us to take it from you, and what you think needs to be exactly done and how it needs to be done. Cheers, guys, and stay up until we meet in the next upload. Cheers, guys.